Off-topic rap features part 3. How's it going, ladies and gentlemen? I'm back after a couple of weeks off while I was visiting the homeland of Scotland again, seeing friends and family, but now I'm back, I'm locked in, and I'm ready to bring you more bangers. And today, I've got another stacked list of rap features that don't quite fit lyrically with the songs that they're on. Shout out to my Discord, of course, who have helped me to get a couple extra entries for every one of these lists that I've done. The link to join is at the top of the description, discord.gg/CDTV. With that being said, let's get started with our first one, and this one is just ridiculous.
I woke up to my shorty crying. I said, no, I'm not being unfaithful, baby, and somehow she caught me lying.
Don't you just love it when a rap feature absolutely nails being vulnerable on a track? Nah, I'm just kidding. Expressing your emotions as a man is capital G gay. That's why, as a true masculine alpha, I love Central C's verse on this track. We spend the first half of the song with Pink Pantheress pouring her heart out for her man, even saying that she hopes that she'll die before him, so that, presumably, she'll never have to live without him. Clearly, it's all about absolute devotion to one person.
Tell them how we met because you telepath. You're the thing that connects my brain to my chest.
Then my guy Central C comes into the track and gives it exactly what it was missing. A verse about him cheating on his girlfriend while telling her that he isn't, and then getting upset at her when she doesn't believe what he's already told us is a lie. My favorite line about this is, I'm innocent until proven guilty, my girl not convinced but I'm not convicted, despite the fact that he's confessing to being guilty in this very song. What makes all of this even worse, better, is the fact that it seems like this isn't just some fictional narrative type of verse, and is actually based off of a real-life relationship of Central C's, where he apparently did the argy-bargy with other girls behind the back of his at-the-time girlfriend, Madeline Argy, specifically referencing TikToks that she's made about their relationship.
But one time it was 4 or 5. Long story short, we don't talk no more. Now she on TikTok doing story time.
So not only does it not fit the song it's on at all, completely killing the vibe of it, but it's also just him laying out how he's a real-life dickhead, and not just the rap persona of one. Oh shit, I mean great guy who I respect, because I love this verse. It's great. Shout out to Central C, putting on for real alpha males like me who will never make a genuine connection with a woman.
Young Hov, y'all know when the flow is loco. Young B and the ROC. Uh-oh.
Speaking of dudes just refusing to rap about love at the right moment, is this not a great example of that? When I was younger and heard this song on the radio a whole bunch, I don't think I really paid all that much attention to the lyrics. I was 5 years old at the time. But looking at them now, Jay-Z just kinda brags the whole time and says nothing at all about love, basically. He talks a decent amount about the crazy part.
Young Hov, y'all know when the flow is loco. Jay-Z in the range, crazy in the range. They can't figure him out, they like, hey, is he insane?
But nothing really about the in love part, which is extra confusing because this is literally his lady that he's on a track with. Nothing you want to say about how much you love her, the things you like about her, the things about her that drive you crazy, even the things you do that drive her crazy. That's your future wife, bro, come on. He name drops Rock Nation on this verse more than Beyonce.
Young B and the ROC. Uh-oh. Soprano the rock handle like Ben X2.
A true businessman through and through, I guess. I mean, hey, the track is still a bop. It does sound good regardless. The production on this is stunning, but I don't feel like Jay added what he absolutely could have to the track with his feature.
The turn up is so real, we about to get super lit. Boy, I'm kicking straight facts, that's just how we do this shit.
This comes from an entire project with the concept of having as many collabs as possible, and with so many features, some of them were bound to be a miss. Perhaps none more so than 50 Cent on Remember the Name. Ed talks on this song about how badly he just wanted to do a song with 50 Cent and Eminem on it, so I imagine he wasn't too picky about how the content of their verses turned out. But man, 50 Cent didn't even try to match what Em and Ed did. In fact, you can shorten that sentence to 50 didn't even try. Ed Sheeran and Eminem both talk on the track about their rags to riches story, how they went from being nobodies to people whose names would be remembered, and this seems like a topic that 50 Cent could match pretty well. We're not even treading new ground here, it's such a common topic within rap, but instead, 50 just lays out really generic bars about how rich he is, without really referencing his rise to the top at all.
She like to fly shit, and I like to buy shit. Shit, I'm getting stupid money. What else we gonna do with money? Bitch, we be ballin' out.
He just talks about how he's there at the top, but doesn't really have any specific lines that would tie it into the track a lot more tightly. Because you will find that with some of the entries on these lists, they maybe fit sort of loosely, generally into the track, but they're not specific or tight enough to really make it on topic. I'm convinced he just pulled it out of a pile of generic, unreleased verses that he can slap on any song when someone asks him for a collab, now that he's not really rapping anymore. That was probably the case with this one.
Niggas out here try to test me. I put the AK where chest be. Don't fight with hoes, don't fight with niggas.
Wiz Khalifa, a man who managed to achieve his dream of becoming a rapper, and as such, never has to worry about money being a problem ever again. He can do whatever he wants, no matter how many people tell him that he can't. He's getting to places that people said he never would. He started at the bottom floor, and he made it all the way to the top, goddammit. A very inspirational story that makes you feel like you can achieve your dreams too. And by the way, Juicy J will pay people to shoot and kill you. That's pretty much the progression of this song lyrically. Most of the Juicy J verse is just about him shooting people up.
And let you meet that 44. Run your mouth, you in the trunk. Clock to your head, nowhere to run.
It's in such stark contrast to how light-hearted Wiz's verses sound and the overall inspirational sound of the beat.
Got rich when they said I can't. Got high and got on the plane and brought all my niggas when they said I can't.
It's not an instrumental that feels like a murdering my ops type beat, you know? What makes it even funnier is they give Juicy J this big build-up to his verse, with the beat dropping down for like a solid 15 seconds, just letting you soak in the sweet and beautiful sounds on there, and then boom, he just jumps into it talking about spending 18k to get you killed.
18 racks, I pay the dough. To send them goons straight to your door. To show you niggas what's real.
It's a pretty great song, but man, Juicy J and Wiz were on completely different pages here.
Tommy Hill was my nigga, and others couldn't figure how me and Hill figure used to move through with vigor.
The title of this song makes it pretty clear what it's about. On the Prodigy and Havoc verses, they dive deep into their dependency on alcohol to relieve stress, personifying different alcohol brands as women to stack the song with clever wordplay all throughout it.
Ray introduced me to her first cousin Gold. Last name was English and the first name O. Then she started getting jealous, steam cause I spent more cream with the fellas. Fuck them niggas, spend that cheese on me.
Extended personification type rap songs are always really fun for me, so that's pretty great. In fact, I have a list that I've had on my phone notes forever about like the greatest extended metaphor rap songs. I had it in there for years, probably since like 2018, and I've just never made that video. I should probably do it at some point. I just don't know how many people are interested in that, but I love those kind of songs where it's an extended metaphor or an extended personification. But between their verses, Q-Tip has his own in the middle where he raps about a heist scenario with personified fashion brands and designers as the characters. It's not even close to the rest of the song. And the funny thing about this one is it's a great Q-Tip verse. Lots of personality, fun idea, storytelling that you can visualize, but it has no place on Drink Away the Pain. In fact, Prodigy himself said that his first reaction to Q-Tip's verse was, what the fuck is he rapping about? it doesn't match the song. He's talking about clothes, we're talking about liquor. Which, like, yeah, I think is a pretty justified first reaction. Either way, Prodigy warmed up to it after people told him that they thought the verse sounded good, and after a few more listens, he started to agree. Q-Tip himself said that Mobb Deep wanted him on the song, but he didn't really drink all that much at the time. He drank a little bit, but in his words, it wasn't his poison of choice. So being the kind of odd one out on the record anyway, he decided to go all the way in a different direction. They both pretty much agree that he didn't stick to the topic, but he did his thing on here anyway. I do think the Q-Tip verse would maybe be better served on a different song with a consistent concept all throughout, and Drink Away the Pain might be better with just the Havoc and Prodigy verses, so that has more consistency too, but the individual parts here are all pretty damn great.
I never let the fake news from the press distress me, even though the devil would love to Malcolm X me.
J Electronica is that one uncle at the Christmas dinner table who can't have a single conversation without interjecting a statement about the Rothschilds, Illuminati, or just general conspiracy theories that you just kind of have to laugh and brush off because you've lost the will to argue with it by that point. This is probably why I've never got into his music all that much. And nowhere is that clearer than on Red by IDK. This song has a relatively simple and fun concept about a man getting in and staying in a relationship with a woman because the sex is good, despite the fact that she pretty much only wants him for his money. Westside Gunn's verse might sound a little typical at first, but I think it does reflect this pretty well, talking about the splurging that he does on his lady, cash-wise, and IDK, being the guy whose song it is, conveys the topic the most strongly.
Good with your Brazilian lips, the money like that shit, be trying to wipe that shit, might first class on a Delta flight that shit.
There's also a painfully minimal amount of MF Doom bars shoehorned in there. Yes, that's it. That's all there is in the song, that kind of feel like they're just there to be able to put featuring MF Doom in the song credits. And then J Electronica comes through to stick to the song's concept in his own way for a few bars, before going on his conspiracy uncle rant about Dr. Fauci, the CDC, and vaccines. Keep in mind, this dropped in 2021, so of course Jay would find a way to force COVID bars into a song that's about gold-digging women and the men who provide them with cash. It's such a buzzkill to close an otherwise fun song with. And it's extra stupid if you consider the fact that Westside Gunn's close friend and collaborator DJ Shay actually died from COVID about a year before this track came out, and I think Westside Gunn himself also struggled pretty strongly with COVID in 2020 or early 2021, and now you have J Electronica on a song with them spitting anti-vax bars. IDK, bro. Sometimes it's okay to just put a feature in the no thank you pile.
Suck my dick, it's the kid with the fat knob, a bust all into your face. Plus it come in globs, quick, get on your knees.
It wouldn't be a list of mine if I didn't bend the rules a little bit for the sake of including something. Yes, Ghostface Killah technically isn't a feature on the project, considering he's a Wu-Tang member and it's a Wu-Tang song, but we have to talk about how his verse doesn't fully mesh with what everyone else was doing on here. Let's take a look at the chorus of this song first to see what the focus of the track is. Pretty clearly, it's about violence in the projects and doing your best to survive it, even if that means doing some of the shooting yourself. Raekwon and Method Man stick to this pretty tightly, but then we get to Ghostface's verse, and it's enough to make Bonnie Blue clutch her pearl necklace.
Grab my shit and place it gently on your click, ping pong pussy.
Ping pong pussy. Look, if it was a regular verse about sex, or even just a couple of bars sprinkled throughout the verse, then I'd maybe give it a pass for being about what Ghostface does to pass time in the projects, to take his mind off the violence, but it's so egregiously explicit that it sounds like it's lifted from a different song entirely. He even talks about trying out the old I am Jace bowling ball technique on this one.
Put 3 fingers in your bitch, bowling ball.
I don't think my ears will ever forget being bombarded with the words, farts breathing out your lips, splashing my dick badly. It's a cursed day to understand English. It stands out like a sore thumb on this track so much that even with Ghostface technically not being a feature on here, I had to include it anyway. Make sure you don't accidentally play this one with your parents in the car. Now, before we close out this video, I want to do something a little extra at the end here and talk about a song that I saw suggested for this list that I ended up not including, and I'm going to tell you exactly why. And that is Justin Timberlake's My Love featuring T.I. At first glance, I agreed with this one being off topic. I actually included it in this list at first. How can we go from JT pledging his love to this girl, telling her that he's gonna give her a ring that represents his heart, represents his love, to T.I. saying, I'm patient, but I ain't gonna try. You don't come, I ain't gonna die. It sounds crazy, especially when Justin himself said that the song is about a humble approach to love. And Tip's verse seems to be the antithesis to that. But after a few listens, I started to get the impression that T.I. could possibly be rapping from the perspective of someone trying to take the girl that Justin is interested in. But it doesn't really work out because of his careless demeanor. The main thing that has me thinking this could be the case is what T.I. says before his verse begins. It's time to get it, JT. I don't know what you're hesitating for, man. Which to me feels like him basically saying, listen, man, you're contemplating trying to get this girl's attention and doing all these extravagant things all the time, so I'm just gonna go after her more directly. I think it makes sense. It's either that, or T.I. did just miss the concept of the song entirely. With that being said, that is gonna be the end of today's video, so let me know down in the comments below what you think about my take on T.I.'s verse on My Love. It's one that I'm a bit 50-50 on, but I wasn't sure enough to include it here as a full entry. I'm curious to see what you guys have to say on that. If you have any recommendations that I could include in a future video, drop those in the comments down below, and on the screen right there I've left a video for you to check out if you want to see some more of my content straight away. And much love to my channel members and Patreon supporters over there, with a special shout out to Henry Flores, I Am Reaching, Lucas1123, and Neo Striker. It's good to be back at the videos again. I'll be bringing you guys some more bangers soon.